Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel. And today I'm going to be reviewing the Air Jordan 35. So this shoe is going for 180 bucks, so pretty expensive. If you guys do want to cop, I'll leave a link in the description box. But let's get it started right away with the tracciones. So they're using a full-on herringbone traction pattern throughout this entire outsole. It's a very thin tread too. And we have a Jordan logo in the middle of the outsole, and it says Air Zoom on top and on bottom. So as far as the bike goes, I was playing on an outdoor court. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, nothing's open near me, and I really do miss playing on an indoor court. But anyways, the traction was pretty damn good. I really didn't have any issues. When I was doing a super hard stop though, like a couple of times I did slip out a little bit, but it wasn't a huge deal. For the most part, it was consistent and had a very, very good bite. But durability is terrible, guys, right? So I guess I use my right foot a little bit more than my left foot. But anyways, on my right shoe, here where the ball of my foot is, and this is definitely a high wear area, nothing's ripping off like crazy, which is a good thing, but it's wearing down very, very quickly and like a lot, right? So here on my right shoe, it's basically all worn out, which sucks. So do not play with this shoe outdoors at all, and I'm not gonna play with these outdoors anymore. Once I get on the indoor court, I will definitely play with them, but on outdoor court, no more. I don't want to ruin this shoe anymore, you know what I'm saying? As far as the heel to toe transition goes, it's actually very smooth. When you're like running down the court and stuff like that, you have a very nice transition here from the heel, which has a nice curved shape. You have a nice curved shape here in the forefoot. Not a lot of forefoot flex though, but it's okay because it does curve up a lot, and under your weight it kind of does bend a little bit more than when I'm kind of like demonstrating with my hands. So heel to toe transition is overall pretty damn smooth. As far as the cushioning setup goes, I actually love it. So they're using the same exact zoom unit found in the Jordan 34 here in the forefoot, and it feels awesome. It's super freaking bouncy. You feel it right underneath your foot. It just gives you that extra bounce that you need, when you're like kind of like doing your first step or something, when you're going to do a little jelly or something or a dunk. It gives you that nice little bounce in the forefoot. Also in the heel, it feels incredibly nice, that large volume zoom unit feels great. It feels bouncy and all that. I don't really feel it too much when I'm walking around, but when I'm like jogging, down the court and stuff, I definitely feel it in the heel, and it feels awesome, Impact protection is awesome, especially on heel strikes. My foot actually never hurt, and I was playing on an outdoor court, so the impact protection and all that is awesome. The foam is also kind of soft, it's not super soft, but comparing it to like the Jordan 34 or like other shoes like the Kyrie 6, this foam is definitely softer than that, and you have a nice little compression as well. Court feel is also pretty good. I wouldn't say it's the best. The best I would say is like the Harden Volume 4 or like the Curry 7s or something like that, but it's definitely not bad here in the Jordan 35. So yeah, I feel like most people will like this, unless I guess you don't really like to feel like super crazy zoom unit in the heel as well as in the forefoot. Obviously stay away from the shoe if you don't like that, but to be honest, I feel like most people would like this cushioning setup. All right, moving on to the materials. So they're using a blend of old school materials and Cura materials here in the forefoot area. So here in the toe box area, it's actually very, very thin. It doesn't really stretch at all, so it's super supportive. Conforms to your foot very well. This nubuck material, it doesn't make the shoe feel like super cumbersome or anything, so I really like that. And so here in the toe box, it feels great. The addition of the flight wire is also great. I don't think it was super necessary, but we'll get to that in support. Here in the ankle area, there's not a lot of padding, but we have this very, very large Achilles pillow, which feels great. It locks down your foot, and here in the back of the Achilles, the foam feels awesome. And then the tongue, we have a little bit of padding, and it's a very large tongue. So I really like the feeling of that as well. So the materials, even though they're using old school materials on this shoe, which usually I don't like as much, is not a problem at all here in the Jordan 35. One thing I will note though is this ankle area right here, right? And I guess it kind of ties into materials a little bit. So, it's not the Achilles pillow that's kind of like poking my Achilles, but it's this part right here. You guys see these two pointy parts here in the heel? That's right next to your Achilles. So when you're kind of like going forward and just like going in a straight line, I couldn't really feel it, right? But when I'm doing like this type of movement, like step backs or when I'm doing like a crossover and I'm doing a lateral movement, This part would dig into my Achilles like pretty bad. It was super uncomfortable. It broke in just a little bit, but the way I found to fix that is that I just didn't tighten the laces very tight, I guess, on the top two eyelets. I tightened it down a little bit, but not as tight as I would like. But then when I did that, I didn't have that issue at all. So just be careful on that. It was just super uncomfortable for me. All right, moving on to the fit. I went true to size and it fits me like a glove. It fits pretty much exactly like the Jordan 34. So if you've tried on the Jordan 34, that's pretty much the exact same fit in 35. It's super snug here in the toe box area. I can't even like curl my toes up. That's how tight it is. Lengthwise, my toes literally go right to the edge. And then widthwise, I would say it's a little narrow, just a tad bit. It wasn't like choking my foot out widthwise or anything. And then here in the midfoot area, it was a good fit. And then once I tightened the laces down, I was locked down, locked in, and secure. So fit was awesome. The shoe is also really easy to put on, which I like. All right, moving on to the support and lockdown. I had absolutely zero issues in this shoe. So for lateral containment, you have the eclipse plate, and the eclipse plate kind of extends up here into the midfoot. So that contains you for lateral containment. You have this flight wire also, which is a very supportive material. I don't know, I don't think it was super necessary. I mean, if they just kept it with this like nubuck material, I feel like it would have been supportive enough also. But I guess this flight wire is a little bit thinner than this like nubuck material. So I guess it's good that they used it. But obviously, lateral containment, I had zero issues. Your foot is not going anywhere in the shoe. And then for lateral stability, I was good as well. You have a nice low wide base. So I didn't feel like I was gonna roll my ankle or anything. And if you want ankle support, you're gonna get ankle support. But like I said, I couldn't tighten the shoe down as much as I wanted. So if you tighten the shoe down a lot, obviously you're gonna get a good amount of ankle support. I wouldn't say it's the best ankle support I've ever felt, but you know, you get a little bit of ankle movement restriction. But again, just watch out for this back part. It's super uncomfortable. Hopefully you guys don't feel it like I did. All right, as far as the weight goes, I think this was like average. Yeah, like 12.98 ounces for the right, and then for the left, it's 13.02 ounces. So it's a little bit heavier than normal. It definitely doesn't feel super heavy. It doesn't feel super bulky or anything. I would say it just feels normal. This shoe feels very supportive and very responsive. It doesn't feel cumbersome. You actually feel very quick when you're playing in the shoe. All right, as far as the ventilation goes, that is a nope. So obviously there's really no ventilation holes or anything going through this upper. Like if you blow through it, nothing, right? So this shoe is pretty damn hot, so watch out for that. As far as the aesthetics go, I absolutely love this colorway and I absolutely love the design of this shoe. Like I said in the first impressions, it kind of reminds me of like if they made a future shoe a long time ago. I really love the eclipse plate as well. So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, 180 bucks is definitely expensive. So obviously if you're worried about money, stay away from this shoe. But if you want a good performer, definitely 100% cop, right? So the traction was awesome, obviously besides the durability. The cushioning I loved. Materials were not a problem. This shoe is super supportive. I feel like everyone can play in it. You know, if you're a big guy, you need a lot of support and a lot of cushion. This is a great shoe. If you're a guard, you're looking for a quick, supportive shoe that, you know, you can feel bouncy in and all that. This is a great shoe as well. So yeah, I really enjoyed playing it. The only thing I don't like is this part right here. But you know, I fixed it by not tightening the laces very tight. But you know, I lost a little bit of lockdown here, I guess, in the ankle area. But you know, the Achilles pad definitely helped with that, so it wasn't a huge deal, right? So that about concludes my review. Again, if you guys do want to cop, I'll leave a link in the description box. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.